Hello all, hope you all are doing great. So in this video we'll understand about of options in the HYPERMESH. So for the people who are seeing me the first time, so actually we are doing a complete series on a CAE. It's a part of a simulation tool for in mechanical engineering. So those who are from mechanical engineering, they must be aware about of HYPERMESH tool. So we are continuing the series which we have started, like understanding the HYPERMESH tool and what are the things that are very important. So as a fresher, that we need to understand how to do modeling in HYPERMESH. So yeah, that is what we are continuing in a series. So I have created a complete playlist in my channel. So if you are wanted to learn a HYPERMESH tool, so you can go through that and you can easily learn and understand things easily. So coming to this video, so in my previous video I have covered about of uh, in previous videos also I have covered about of installation parts, and also we have started in the tool. We understood about of complete UI about the HYPERMESH tool, how to import and export the files, how to see, and we have also seen the components which are inbuilt in alter tool, alter software. So I think hope you all are imported that file. So anyway, we just start with the modeling part, and we understand in this video we'll understand about of few of the options which are very important while you start modeling in modeling any component. So we'll go through that and we'll understand about of the keyboard shortcuts, because to increase the efficiency, because end of the day in any organization, in any company, you have to be efficient. You can't take large amount of time or long time in modeling any components. Okay, so we'll see how to keep a keyboard shortcut keys in HYPERMESH tool, and we also see some of the options, like we'll just surf around the few of the options that are very important in generating meshing and all. So these all in this video we'll see it. So let's get started. So first we need a component, right? So we'll just import one component. I think we have discussed all this in my previous video. If you have not seen, I request you all please go and watch that video, so you'll understand about from where these components are coming out. So we'll import this and open and import. So for that we used to have fit option. Even I have explained this in my previous video only. So yeah, so let's coming to here. So we have these component. So this is basically a skin component. We can say like this is not a steel, this is just a skin. So skin is nothing but it's just a surface part, right? This is a because we have a component in that we have even I have discussed in my previous video also, there is a steel component. We generally say about of BIW components in automobile. Then we have a solid components. Okay, so in that we have to do in a mid, some of the components we have to do on the surface of the surface of the component. Let's say for example, if I talk about of, how can I say, let's say take an example of this box. So this box is a 3D box, like we have this complete surface, and sometimes we have to go towards we have to do meshing inbuilt, like in middle of these components. Okay, let's consider this as a one component. So in that we have to do sometime the meshing on these surfaces, the upper surface, but sometime we have to do a modeling on these mid surfaces. So how we're gonna do? So we're gonna do meshing on that on the surface of the on this component surface, and we'll just we'll find out the thickness of this. We need to find out the thickness of this, and we need to adjust that. Like we need to send, let's say for example, if this length is 4 centimeters, let's say 4 mm, whatever, so 4 mm, so we'll just push it down, like we just move it down into 2 mm ratio. I think you're getting it right. So we'll do that. So I'll just give a brief idea about of things what is going on. So this is upon, that is what we have doing mesh over the skin. Then we'll do meshing over the mid region of that. Clear? So this is what the actual probably the meshing part is done in that, the components. So let's start with the skin components. So we'll understand whatever I have mentioned you, whatever I have explained just now. So we'll understand about the components. We have those components and we'll learn from that. But you got I think you got a brief idea about, okay, what are the meshing parts we're gonna do. So in the C, what I have done, I have come here at the model region. We see here different components, right? So is this a one component or a different component? So here we have a different component. This is one component, this is one component. If I isolate it, what am I doing? Isolate only. So I'm isolating it. Isolating is nothing but we can say in a rough word like open. So I'm just opening it. Okay. So what am I doing? Fit. And one more thing. And before that, I just want to let you know about mouse because it's very important. See what I'm doing. I'm just rotating it. So how am I rotating it? So I'm rotating it with the help of my mouse. So I really prefer you, because if you are using the HYPERMESH or any designing tool, that matters if in mechanical engineering and everything, anything. So you have to use mouse because mouse is very important. Without mouse, you can't do anything. Okay, so if you're using a desktop, it's well and good, but if you're using a laptop, please carry a mouse because mouse are very important. So anyways, so what I'm doing, control plus left mouse button. So control plus left mouse button helps in rotating. See, I'm rotating the component clearly. So I think you got this. So control plus left mouse button is rotating, and control plus right button is pan, nothing but. So you're panning it. Of course you can change the settings, but just by default, just in the case, so you're just panning it. So, and middle cursor of that and middle scroll button, it's zoom and zoom out. Okay, the mouse middle scroll button is your zoom and zoom out. So you have to practice this because it's very important when you are getting when you go for a tool test in an as a fresher I'm talking about. So it's very important, like they will check about how the adjustments of your, are you able to do or not, because freshers are because in starting it's bit difficult to like adjust this part. Okay, it comes with the practice. It's not been something you have to thought or something is there. So you have to practice how to rotate, how to zoom out, how to pan. Okay, and it's not something difficult. You, when you practice things, you automatically get that. Anyways, so I think you got this part. Just a small thing that I need to I wanted to tell you. Okay, where am I? Okay, I'm telling about the components. So we have isolated this thing, clear, right? So you can see that there are different components: top, middle, bottom, points. So if we just select all, so it will select all. There are multiple components. We can see how these colors. So these colors we can see a lot of components. And in the previous video, is if I mentioned like keep this is, so this is 2D topo. So when you keep into topo, so while we are modeling, so we'll basically easy to understand because we have these feature lines. Okay, so why these feature lines important, we'll understand when we do start modeling the components. So again, so it's preferable to keep in 2D topo or in topo so that you get a clear idea, because here in component you can't see these feature lines clearly somewhat, so it's get bit difficult. For the starting stage, just keep in mind, just keep in 2D topo, and here you can keep it in a component or something. Okay, basically an element quality is preferable, but let's say starting, while we do meshing, we'll get into element quality only. So okay, anyways, so I think you got an understanding about of this isolate only part. Okay, so this is a component. Now creating an assembly. So here what I'm doing, I'm creating an assembly. In that I'm just sending it this component. It's something like a folder, like in our desktops or in our computers we have that, like we create a folder and we create a subfolder in that. It is somewhat like same thing. So it's something, it's like right click, create assembly. Assembly is something like major folder, and if I have to create component, so I'll just go it and create component in that. So it is moved towards this component. So assembly is something different and component, it is sub in part. So it's basically helps in segregation when you have a multiple components, because when you get into an industry, we have to deal with near hundreds or tens or 50s of components individually in one project. So you have to segregate all those things. So you have to make this foldering part, I mean not foldering, like assembling part and segregations are very clear. So here we have an assembly, then we have a component, like it's very basic thing. So right, so okay, fine, you got an understanding about of this also. So here what I have did, create component. So for the time being, I'll just delete this. So delete here, I don't need that. Okay, so okay, one more thing, what I have did last is children entities. I was deleting this, but I have not ticked this. Also delete children entities. So if I'm not selecting this, so that is what the reason that component 1 is not got deleted. Okay, so if you want to delete in even these component also, you have to click this, select that, and you have to press. Okay, so these are very small things. While you are working it, automatically you'll get to know that. Just I want to remind you that you can understand these things. Yeah, I think you got this understanding. So we understood about of assembly, we understood about of mouse using in that, and let's understand few of the options that are very important. First thing I want to explain say you about of function keys. So in function keys we have like F1, F2, F3 till F12. Again shift plus F1 plus F2, shift F2, shift F3, shift F4 till F12. So these function keys are very important in HYPERMESH. You have to keep an understanding. I can say that you have to mug up all those things, okay? Because in interview it will, and it's not something like you have to mug up, because when you are practicing, when we do components in that, we basically in generalize, like our fingers move. When you have an experience of 1 year or 6 months continuous in industry, your fingers automatically move your move to your options. You don't have to, even you don't have to follow like where is ruled, where is position, where is where is ruled, where is auto mesh. So you don't have to move, like you don't have to think about of you, automatically your muscle mind gets connected to that. But initially when you are as a fresher, but you have to learn about what are function keys from F1 to F12 and shift F1 to F12. So we'll see that. Let's say for example, if I talk about F1 is nothing but just help. So it's something like help, so you can see that. And F2 is delete entities, and F3 is replace, F4 is distance 2 nodes, F5 is mask, F6 is edit elements, nothing but splitting. Again, these are very important in general use. Also we are going to use these function keys. Okay, so F7 line elements, and F9 line edit combine, F10 these are failure checks, so we are going to use this also. F11 quick edit, and F12 is auto mesh. Yeah, so auto mesh. So these are the function keys from F1 to F12. Next there are shift F1, that is color. So here we have just seen like the, just a second, so if I just have to select here, okay, it has selected some color, right? So if I select these all components, displayed, select auto color, so the colors change. But when you have dealing with the multiple components, it helps you at some certain point. It helps a lot actually when you are dealing with some large like too much amount of components and that. So yeah, we'll see that also. So shift F2 is temporary nodes. Again, it's a good option. Edges, very important. Shift F4 translate, very important. F5 find entities, okay, fine. Split option, very important again. Shift F plane to the plane, again it's very important. Node align, shift F11 trims, okay, we are going to use this also. Normal, so we need to find out the normal, like we have to plane. Again, this is a concept we need to understand. Adjust F11 to organize, again it's a very important factor in complete steps. We have some pipeline, right? We have to do meshing, we have to do then we have to do organizing, okay, we have to check duplicates. Again, I'll be explaining all those things, so be patient. And organizing, and F12 is smooth plate, okay, fine. So these are the few options. So don't worry, I'll give you the list of completely from what are these function keys, what is from F1 to F12 and shift F1 to F12. So I'll just give you a doc there, so in my description, so you can easily see and learn about things, and start practicing, because end of the day it's practice. You can understand things a lot. Okay, so I think you got that understanding. So whatever the options we have discussed from function keys and shift F1 and F3 all, so these are basically the options that are present over here only. See, geometry edit, it's option F11, nodes. So we have these options to creating a nodes, temporary nodes, and node edit. Okay, so temporary nodes, distance between two nodes. So we'll use this. I don't want to explain you in a way like covering what is geometry and all. I actually want to start modeling the components and let you know these important options, what are important, because it's no use of knowing every option in HYPERMESH. Okay, it's not we need to be and understand each and every option. Okay, we are not doing R&D on HYPERMESH, we are doing modeling on components. So we need to know the options which are necessary for us to do model of the component. Okay, so quick edit option. So these are options. I was showing you some of the options which are very important when you are doing a 2D modeling. So I have discussed in my previous video also, we do 2D modeling and 3D modeling. So in 2D modeling we'll do again, I was discussing now, right, on the surface level, on the surface of the component we'll do meshing, or if in case we need to have to, like if there is a steel component, we'll do move that mesh surface level to some certain mid level of the component, mid thickness of the component. So here we have a mid mesh, so we'll create a mid mesh there. So yeah, I think these are the options. Generally we use about a lot of options: quality index, element cleanup. Of course it's a dangerous, so who are an experienced, they know about what these component option is. Element offset, yeah, so these are the options. Tools options are very important: translate, rotate, scale, reflect. So we'll see these options. Positions, these options are very important. And faces, edges, check elements, mask. Okay, fine. So I think you got these options are for the initial stages: geometry, 2D, and tool. And when we move toward 3D options, again 3D options are important. So these three options are very important. So just go through it. Okay, you'll understand each and everything. So anyways, we're going to discuss when we'll do start modeling 2D component. From next video we'll start just directly the modeling part. So I think you got an understanding. And one more thing we are missing in this video is about keyboards. Oh, keyboard, come on. Yeah, keyboard settings. So here we'll understand about keyboard settings. So generally we discussed about of F1, right? So F1 is nothing but help, is mentioned, right? F2, push panel. So when you want to keep a shortcut for your thing, let's say for example we have this function keys. So in generally what we like, how we work in an industry, how we basically use the HYPERMESH is we have one hand over here like using the mouse, and another one is always on control, because majority of an options using with the control only. So we basically try to make options nearer to these options so that our fingers easily can move and can helps in decreasing and increase our efficiency. So control A, let's say for example, let's A. So what I have messed, like I have made this HM push panel auto mesh. You basically just write this and you can make a shortcut over there. Let's say for example SS selector is the by default thing. Display is again important. Let's say for example Q. I'm made something Q. Quality. Let's say for example if I have to change this, toggle something, so I'll just make this as SM push panel. Okay, so and I want to make this as translate. Okay, yeah, quality index or something. Okay, let's say make a translate only. Translate. Okay, so I just need to remove this. Just a second. Okay, what I have used here, HM push panel translate. Okay, I just apply and okay. So let's see, is it working or not? Q. See, I've used a Q and I got a translate option. So this is the way just to keep a shortcut. So you can keep n number of shortcuts, the how many way you need to follow. You can make all the shortcuts. Again, it's very important because you will understand a lot of things, because a few options are very important. If you get if you keep other thing in a fit option, then if you're pressing it F, then how it's going to use it. So just think about of what are the options that are very important for me. Okay, so we'll understand when you are working, basically you don't have to, anybody can't say you that which options is important. When you are working on a component, actually your mind says, okay, these components are these I'm using these these option very often. So why don't I just keep these off this option over Q? Why don't I just keep this option as a key, as Z? Okay, so by this, like when you're doing a modeling, so you basically you choose like, okay, I'll just keep Z as a position, I just keep A as an auto mesh option. So right, like that. Okay, everybody has their own shortcut keys. So if you made some shortcut keys, if you want to send to your friend, or you just want to send keep your options saved, and you can just generally just give your name, and you can just save to your in folder, and whenever just you want to open your shortcut keys, just you need to import this file, and its shortcut keys are basically imported. It's a simple thing. Yeah. So if your friend has made any shortcut keys and you like it, okay, just send me your file. So you basically just import that file, and basically the shortcut keys also your shortcut keys. Okay. So it's very simple thing. It's not something very important thing. Okay, you understood about of keeping a shortcut keys, you understood about of like assembling part, you seen some kind of options. So yeah, I think you got an understanding pretty much, right? So from next video we'll start completely about of 2D modeling. So by doing modeling we'll understand a lot of things. I am not teaching you completely about what is rotate and what is, because actually when we do, we'll learn a lot of things. So I'll just start with the modeling from the next video. So just stay tuned and stay subscribed. So let's get started from the next video. See you next video. Bye bye. Jai Hind.